Hello, it's Nikki. How are you doing? I hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to a brand new series. I'm going to be talking about this over the next couple of weeks so you can really dive into the process and also take what I share with you and work with it and kind of play with it and see what comes up and how you can apply it to your business. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about speaking and communication. And this topic has always been very much part of my business because speaking is one of my income streams, and that's speaking from being on people's podcasts or doing online workshops. It's going to huge theatres, it's being an actor, it's doing keynotes or panels, Q&As, so many different ways it shows up. And if you followed me for a while, you will know how important it is to have speaking as part of your business and something that is really harnessed and nurtured and considered. So today I want to talk about speaking and over the next couple of days because I believe that you are one email away from being asked to share your expertise. For example, you may get an email tomorrow where somebody said, I saw your Instagram post and I wondered if you would come and talk to my community. Or I really like that step-by-step video that you put on YouTube. I could see that as a keynote. Perhaps you could come to our event and share it there. And this is, I guess, about carving out what happens next, because it can be so tempting to say, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a very confident person. I'm not an extrovert. I hate public speaking, etc., etc. But the beauty of online as well is that you could earn really lovely money and create an impact and create really great content and support your audience without leaving your house. And when I look back over the last 2 years and I look at the income that I've created from speaking, it's actually been more than it was pre-pandemic, because people have loved that opportunity to be able to book somebody and provide information and provide that talk for people, for their clients, for their employees, whatever it might be, without them having to leave their house. So this is what I want to go into first and foremost. The importance of live work being part of your business. Now, immediately when I say live, it may bring some terrifying things up of like, oh no, I'm not ready to go on a big stage, or I don't want to be the center of attention, or whatever is coming up for you at the moment. To be honest, it's really important to note what is coming up because, as I always say, this is about pulling the data and really saying, oh, okay, this is where I am in May 2022. This is how I'm feeling about communication. Also, the reason for me doing this mini series is I feel that at the moment, in terms of online, in terms of content, firstly, lots of people are very burnt out and they're in recovery mode. And when you're in recovery mode, you don't want to do the big out of comfort zone moments, do you? You want to hide under a duvet. Also, I feel that there is a huge spike in cancel culture. And in some circumstances, absolutely, things should be called out. But I do feel also that there is a hesitancy and a fear around people speaking up or people sharing something because they don't want to make any tiny little mistake and they want to appeal to everybody. And whilst that's very important to be considered, it's really, really difficult to have perfection as the end goal. It's almost like if you were going on a date, it's really, really difficult going, oh my goodness, I hope I can show my most perfect self, which is going to appeal to everybody, because even with the best will in the world, sometimes it's just not going to work out. So I want to share today some things to think about, but also some really great results that you will gain. And the reason that I'm starting here is it can be really tempting to put speaking, communication, content, marketing, however you like to look at it, on the back burner and get preoccupied with busy work or things that are perhaps a little bit more in your comfort zone. And so I wanted to share some results, because if you can almost see what the end result's going to be, perhaps you're going to be more inclined to do the work necessary. Now, the first, result that I want to talk about in terms of adding speaking and having that live element to your work. And live doesn't have to be in person, it can be online, or it could even be recorded. But that sense of somebody seeing you, being able to interact with you, is that interaction. We all want human connection. We all want to see and feel and experience and be part of that process. And if you are always somebody who is automating or who is behind the scenes or not in the room or in the party or in the networking event, it's very difficult, or rather it's very easy to no longer have a sense of what is going on. And I've certainly found that when I haven't maybe been out for a while, or as a 40-year-old, I went to a club a couple of months ago and it felt really weird. I felt like I didn't quite know how to behave or what to do, and I felt really old, and it took an hour or so to kind of acclimatize in that way. And that's sort of what it's like in your business. And again, I'm not saying that you have to be all the places at all of the time. There's absolutely no judgment here, but it's something to consider. I know when I'm feeling fresh, when I'm feeling that I'm in the game, in the room, that only leads to great things. And so, first of all, I want to encourage you to interact. And this part of your speaking journey may be like, instead of going on social media and just scrolling and watching things, I'm going to start to interact. I'm going to add a like. I'm going to add a heart. I'm going to add a comment. I'm going to add a question. I'm going to share it. I'm going to do something with it. So interaction is really important. The next thing that I want to talk about with the power of being live is that ability and that privilege and that honor to hold the space. I mean, that did you hear that deep breath? And exhale. How often are we running, here, there, and everywhere? Got to do this. Hi, yeah. We're so in motion all the time. And to be able to stop and focus on one thing, and for you as that leader to be able to hold the space for people, is really powerful. So by you saying, I am going to share this content, I'm going to share this workshop, I'm going to be on this Q&A, an event, it automatically puts a stop to multitasking. And when people stop multitasking, they come in the room. They bring themselves to the process. And that is a glorious thing, because it's so easy to carry on as we always done, listening to something in the background, cooking dinner, doing this, or making decisions that are perhaps surface level. And I see it when I do live events, and sometimes I even see it on Zoom. There's a moment where I might ask something or give an exercise or a framework, and the energy changes. The energy changes in the room where people go, ooh. And there's a pause and maybe a hesitation. Maybe there's a bit of discomfort of, okay. I've never really thought about it like that. Or sometimes you can hear almost that acceleration of like, oh, I get it. Oh, that's why it's not been working. And you can hear all of those and sense all of those things shifting. And again, what can happen is if you are not in that space, if you are not live, if you are not in the nightclub of business, it's really difficult to second guess what people are doing or what people need. That energy of the room is going to be so useful for you of where you go next. Another thing that can happen is I feel that people are depleted at the moment. And I say that because I feel the last couple of years, people have had to really dig deep, but also things like confusion, things like uncertainty, things like stress, they really, really exhaust us. Also multitasking, homeschooling kids, caring for other people, it all gets us to this state of depletion. And what happens is when people feel depleted, they just usually want to step back. They no longer want to be part of the situation. And so you sharing your message in a way that provides energy, in a way that is joyful and exuberant and doable and playful, it's such an opportunity for you to be that person that people return to again and again. And I look at social media in that way, and this is not me just, putting blinkers on, because sometimes if I've been going through tough things in my life, I'm looking for people who have also been through those tough times. And so sometimes that might mean me seeing them in a very emotional state. But sometimes that means that they're showing their solution as well. And that is a really glorious moment. Like, yes, they made it through, or they found a way. Isn't that great? But secondly, there are some times when I want to be uplifted, or I want the wise friend on social media, or I want to laugh, or I want to be amused, or whatever it might be. So if you can be that person in a live situation with energy, with curiosity, with imagination, with intuition, with a portfolio or a deck that is absolutely going to knock somebody's socks off, that feels energized, automatically you become so attractive and people will want to know more about your business. There are so many things that I want to share over the next couple of days, but for now, I'm going to leave it there. Over the course of the next few weeks, I'm really going to be talking a lot more about my Speak Up program. So Speak Up was something that I created at the end of 2019, and it's been revived and redone since then, because I've had so many people go through this experience to go out and get paid speaking gigs, to become experts on podcasts, or during the pandemic, they were able to offer online workshops and still get paid whilst having their children in the other room. So many different stories. If you would like to find out more, do go over to nikkiraby.com/speak up. This is an online course, but also you have support from me as well. So you can bring anything to the table, whether you want me to look at your speech, your keynote, or if you want to find a way, or there might be something much more nuanced where you're like, I know what I want to say, but it just sounds a bit weird when I'm doing it in this way. I have no agenda for you. I know I always say that, but this is about you finding your way, your rhythm to be able to communicate. So do check that out if it's of interest, nikkiraby.com/speak up. And I will see you tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're checking in, and I can't wait to share more episodes with you. All right, lots of love.